Alright, now this should be working. Hello, boys. Hi. I took down the... what you call it, the... You little fucking bastard. Of course, Small, you were camping just to say... Hello, boy. This little fucker right here is gonna, kitty claw you to death. How you doing, Small? How you feeling? I know you're sick. Make sure for you to drink enough tea. And also, I remember to get my fucking little baggie here so that I can work on some. Still sick. Words are hard right now. Well, words are hard for you in general. Words are hard for you in general, my dude. Yeah, make sure to drink a lot of tea. Make sure to have ginger-based stuff as well. If you can't, if you don't have like ginger tea or something like that. Actually, no, I wanted to say buy some ginger and mash it in, but ginger is expensive. I can tell you that. So yeah, I hope everybody's well, weak basically since I haven't streamed for a week. Those who are watching the VODs, well, new commentary video is out. I've decided not to make the Neji Sanji video. Well, actually, no, I did make it. It's completely done. I just am sitting on it now, and I want to develop a little bit of a following in that case, because Nichi sisters really like to mass report you. How do I know? They try to mass report me on Twitter. The one time I talk back to a very infamous Niji sister, they decide to mass report me. It failed horribly because I've been getting notifications for that, and shit didn't happen. Oof, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I am so fucking laughing at that. I genuinely am. So yeah, instead I have been... Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Minima, you lied to me about ads. I made it so just how every single person does. And my people still get fucking ads every 15 minutes. And I made it so that there are no ads in an hour. It's a ripoff. It's literally a ripoff. Disable pre-roll ads. Oh, fucking hell. I can't with Amazon and Twitch. But yeah, the commentary video is about the Suika drama. Small, you probably know what happened with that if you're still here, if you're watching. For those who don't know and watching the VODs, because this is also up on YouTube. Yep. I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. Here's for the ones who are here to look at it. Exclamation point socials. To be honest, the whole thing since it was not just an overreaction, but it's small. You have been on Twitter for a long time and you have gotten flack for stuff. This is common on Twitter. Yeah, back to the point, because I'm gonna fucking skirt from the topic if I don't. Some lawyer I am. Basically, Suika made a very affordable model for that. She spent a year making it, rigging and drawing at the art, and many different other customizational options. Actually, now since I mix it, well, I can now talk and let it cure for 10 minutes so that it becomes a little bit hard, less sticky, so I can work with it. But people decide to accuse her of being racist, fatphobic as well, because she didn't put hairstyles of people of African descent. By the way, this is for how non-Westerners call people of color. By the way, I'm not Western. I am Southeast European from the Balkans. Hello, Serbia. And I explained in the video, but while the West was busy doing God knows what different shit, we've been busy being completely fucking occupied and brutally oppressed by the Osmanli, or as you all know in English, Ottoman Turks. And of course they were busy, how do I say this, condoning the slave trade. They very much influenced it as well. And our freedom fighters, the Haiduks, were busy dismantling all of that. Not just Serbs, but everyone in the Balkans. So my view is completely different from what most people online would talk about this. I'm gonna actually disable that Nightbot command, because Banshee finally got all of her... she got to 105% of her cancer treatment, which is amazing. Which is goddamn amazing. But yeah, and the issue, and a lot of people decided, because Small, if you're still here, you probably know what's the best way to farm clout and stuff, to be morally superior. Like, you know, use the plights of minorities so that they can, you know, farm fellowship and shit like that. Yeah. It's really bad. You all don't understand how bad that looks for someone who is not from that region. I don't know how to explain it otherwise for you all who don't know what that is, how it looks like. It's bad. It's slimy, as we call like that's how we literally see it, slimy. But yeah, and Suika hasn't done anything to even remotely create those accusations. Nothing, zero, nada, nothing. I couldn't find shit. Sadly, all of those racism accusations and shit like that were deleted. Because it happened during my birthday, 17th of February. I was sick as a fucking mule. I was sick, like I was bedridden. I couldn't see straight how sick I was, honestly. So I couldn't see and archive this because I'm at this point I am very much fucking hell, lads. Yeah, but for people on YouTube you can probably still listen to, but for the Twitch lads, I'm sorry, but you're getting ads now and it's nothing I can do about it. Like, she hasn't done anything remotely to do that. I have to scrape off some gunk from the handles now, shit. First I'm making panel lines so that for the shoulder pads, well, shoulder pads. But they all either privated their profiles and they're hiding low for the time being, or they deleted it. I saw, sadly, during the making the video, I found actually one, but they deleted it and posted their quasi-apology where they are saying sorry, but not sorry in general. Which is typical Twitter. From what I understood, because I haven't been on Twitter for long. My profile says I've been on there for like from 2019 or 2020, something like that, but I've started using it in 2021. The only reason why I made the my Twitter back then was because the animator for the very iconic animation on YouTube, Astartes, got hacked, and I decided to make a Twitter to help with the campaign of bringing back Sayama Patterson's channel back. That's why I made that Twitter profile in general. And I very much was on the camp of, okay, he's back, I will not fucking use this Twitter profile. Then I discovered VTubing during COVID. You know, during the pandemics, and here we are. Quite fucking hilarious, if I say so myself. But ever since that, I have been very much seeing some patterns of god-awful behavior, honestly, in the VTubing community and Twitter in general. This is like Twitter only. Well, not necessarily. You would think that, but Reddit is its own little cesspool. And I've been on Reddit far longer than I have been on Twitter. Coughing a lot? It's chronic sinusitis, small. Sadly, this cough is kinda permanent. Kinda. It's more because of my nose. My nose constantly... My sinuses are constantly creating mucus. snot, and it goes inwards in my throat. It doesn't go outside. That's the problem. So my cough is literally me getting the phlegm out of my throat, and but it's not that bad. I'm kind of used to it by now. It's actually quite toned down now. I just have to be sure to not yell a lot, but also blow my nose a lot of the times. Okay, so I'm gonna what am I doing now? I'm basically like cutting a little rectangle for the sheer reason that I make even flat stripes so that I can make, you know, panel lining, which I'm trying to do. However, this little fucking bitch is not working straight. Well, not working straight. Not working straight. Okay, that was yeah, that for me that was a fucking lol and lamau. Yeah. But yeah, and so why did I make and yeah, that video is posted. Next video I'm making is for the main channel, which you're all on watching, Divinity 2 Let's Play Part 2. I'm gonna record it again because while editing that little shit, DaVinci Resolve decided to crash and corrupt the video that is pinned. I somehow managed to restore it, but the Divinity video completely gone. The main file, everything for some reason is corrupted. So I have to re-record all of that. It was a 40-minute video. So I have to re-record it, re-edit it, everything. It's a pain in the ass, but sometimes that shit happens. What can I do? But yeah, and for the commentary channel, it's gonna be a little retrospective of a certain event in VTubing that happened in 2020. And it involves a certain popular VTuber. I found this by pure accident. Actually, no, I remember this situation. I remember that happening. It's 5 years ago, but I have like an elephant's memory, where I very much remember shit. I pride myself with having a good memory. Before I had COVID, when I was basically on oxygen, 41 degrees Celsius temperature and shit like that, I had a near eidetic memory. But then when you have that kind of a fever for a week almost, it kind of fucks your brain up. So my attention span and memory isn't what it used to be. It came back sorta, but it's I know, I feel like it's not the same. But I vividly remember it. Like, Small, do you know, or chat, anybody, do you know the VTuber called L_XOX? Yeah, apparently she was heavily involved in that fucking drama. And the behavior was questionable. Yeah, I know her past. Yeah, Kraken M. Her old little past. Yeah, I found that. She was heavily involved in the Kyoto drama. Where Kyoto, I think, she had a lolly VTuber model. Yeah, that's the specific video I'm making about. That's the specific event I'm talking about, Small. Yeah. Yeah, you have a good memory as well. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I did my research around it. Oh, this had some... Okay, well. This, it has... no. Drop. Connecting to chat. Oh, fuck me. Please don't tell me that my... Okay, my internet's still there. I thought I crashed. Shit. But yeah, that's the specific little event I'm gonna talk about because it happened in 2020. I know Curry started his account because of that disaster. Yeah, he did? Okay, fair enough then. Yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna talk about. Sadly, I can't get in touch with Curry because I actually wanted to ask him because of something, because he has this notorious archive of everything. I wanted to ask him for some archive links or screenshots he has about certain people, because I plan ahead a lot of the times. Like, I have this little notepad in my PC where I plan ahead what I'm gonna make for the commentary channel. And shit like that. And I'm Did it fall down? No, it didn't fall down. Fucking great. Okay, this has twisted itself. However, shit is not that bad, so why can't you contact? I actually did. I mean, his primary account got suspended, but I did DM him before for some stuff. For instance, if he has any archived tweets about the notorious Nietzsche sister and Binted, because I want to look into them. Not necessarily to make a video on them, mind you, because they're very big attention seekers. But I still wanted to learn about some stuff, whether shit is true or not, and whether if I make a video or not on them, it's a whole different beast. But he never saw my messages, so I'm like, fair enough. Like, the man's busy probably, but still, it's a damn shame. Like, here's the thing, me and Curry, we never talked. I'm gonna be straight up with you, we never talked. I have some gripe with him because he did sorta sick his fans on former friend of mine. It's not that we fell off, it's just they vanished from the face of the planet. Zohana Zombie. I have no ill will to Zohana, but she really went hard on Lolly Shota stuff. And she's British, but she went through a lot in that period, and she's like, hi Badger, how you doing, brother? But he did start some shit with her, and at my first, and that was like in 2021, 2022. I think it's 2021. I'm fairly certain. But then I don't know. Somehow I decided to use Curry as a blacklist of my own. Because most of the time Curry does find some deplorable people who I should definitely avoid. And it's the situation with better to deal with the devil you know than that you don't. It's too small. This is too thin. Redo. I'm redoing it. Okay. Back in the blob you go. back in the blob you go. Thankfully, I have this little neat rectangle that I can use. But yeah, I'm down to talk with him. Because he kind of has this reputation of archiving pretty much everything he sees troublesome and shit like that. Because he's pretty much spot on most of the time for certain VTubers and their deplorable behavior. Questionable behavior, even like politically wise, I don't know, me and him probably wouldn't agree on some stuff, but I don't see him as how do I say this, a deplorable person per se. But that's just me. People can agree or disagree with me on that shit. Okay, now back to this. Alright. There we go. Smack dab on the line. Oh, you little cunt. But yeah, to you, Badger and Small, like, how was your... I mean, Small, I know you're sick, but still, I want to ask, how was your week? And in Badger's case, like, as well, how was your day? Because we talk regularly, Badger. Semi-regularly, something like that. Even though I am currently, like, miffed at certain people. I know how to explain it. It's not even politics based, it's just... In my opinion, people really do not know what the fuck a critique is. Nice. Like... I don't know. It's probably the European in me talking with some stuff, but I don't know how to explain it better. It's probably something like what I said in the Suika drama video. It's probably something I genuinely will never understand. He has diametric views on a certain topic. However, I'm gonna say straight up, since this is the first time. Well, it's not the first time I've seen this VTuber in question, but what they're doing right now is treading a very, very dangerous thin line. Dear fucking God. I don't know. Like, for those who don't know, I'm talking about the VTuber called Nyara. Well, in my opinion, she's very much walking a very dangerous line. Because it's a very sensitive topic. For those who don't know, Nyara is currently... Haha! Fuck you, bot! Got insta fucking canned. Oh, gotta love to see it. What was I talking about? Yeah, Nyara and basically HRT for minors. This is the topic of this is a topic basically where I very much will stand on the ground of, if you are not somebody who has a degree in this field, like medicine, law, engineering, these are topics that most laymen should not talk about, in my opinion. like, unless you are in that field, unless you have certificates proving that you are that engineer, doctor, and shit like that in that specific field you're talking about, you should not talk about it. But I want to talk about this because it's honestly like somewhat in my field, because she's talking about laws, and I have some experience in this. Not specifically laws, but for instance, gender affirming care and trans law, you know. Because fun fact, I did work as a paralegal, because in Serbia you can volunteer after your 3rd year to you can work, like you can still work even in when you're in your 1st year. You can still work in law firms, attorney firms, how you want to call it. For you Brits, it's they can work under a barrister or a solicitor, you know, and shit like that. And I did actually give legal advice in my country. In the fields that I've passed my exams, and I'm very confident, and also under the mentorship of, you know, experienced lawyers, attorneys, you know. So I kind of know this a little bit. At least more than your average Twitter person, layman, or whatever you want to call. Alright? And I will clearly also say this: I have no qualms with anybody. Like, genuinely. I do not. Like, I am pretty liberal compared to what, to my country. However, I'm not stupid. Like, some stuff can work in the West, specifically America, because, no offense to Americans, but a lot of people are fucking brain dead a little bit there. But talking about children in general, and specifically advocating for medical practices that are not that well researched yet to be done with them, not a good look. Not a good look. That's what Nyara is doing, and that's a very dangerous line. She should, in my opinion, not talk about this. And there's several reasons why I'm thinking, hey Badger, I'm currently ripping this off because I fucked up. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about that, and there are multiple reasons why Nyara, in my opinion, should not talk about this. Not to saying that she shouldn't have a voice, but she's about this topic she should definitely not talk about, because what I've seen and what she has said, she's very much talking through the aspect of trauma, because she the main defense of hers is, I was a trans kid, and I regretted not being able to transition, stuff like that before. This is trauma speak, and the first thing my law professors have taught me, because law and politics are intertwined, you should not develop political opinions or opinions of some very important topics through trauma. You just can't. You shouldn't, because it never ends well. You should not also talk about stuff that you don't know about. Like, for instance, me, I don't talk about on Twitter anything that relates to trans people, because I'm not trans. I've studied it, well, specifically gender studies, because it's now a forced fucking topic in Europe and in law. But it's still interesting to learn about. Because it's a previously unknown field. Albeit, we kinda in advance labeled some stuff. Because you never know, you know? And that's what they did. You never know. But on to the point. And here's where also my experience comes in, because it's not only that, yes, I am still a student, but I'm finishing soon. Granted, we're currently protesting, so there are no exams, nothing, and with how long those protests have lasted, the year will probably end. That means my exams will be prematurely canned. Which sucks balls. But hey, when you're fighting for better quality of life, yeah, sometimes you have to sacrifice shit. But back to the point. She's talking about from her trauma. And she clearly, in my opinion, is showing that she is someone who doesn't know shit. She's also very much arguing, starting shit on Twitter. And in my opinion, she is very much deliberately doing so. Partially because I asked around who she is. The common thing everybody said is attention starved. Alright. Second, edgy. Edgy. Oh, what does that mean? Because edgy can mean a lot of different stuff. A lot of different stuff. Using to boost their Twitter. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't run research on how much she has grown. And I'm gonna be honest, Twitter is important, but it's not the thing that gets you as a creator money. Nor viewership. Because a lot of people on Twitter just don't go to your streams. They don't. There's a lot of streamers who have a shit ton of followers on Twitter, but when you look at their Twitch metrics, stats, and YouTube stats, boy, there's some discrepancy. There's an eye-glaring difference. The best example about this is how the fuck? What's her username? Aurora. Yeah, Aurora Makui. Yeah, she's the prime example of Twitter followers does not equate to Twitch views. Like, how much does she have again? Like 68 or around 60k followers on Twitter. You see her metrics even before she took her break. Diametrically different. Diametrically. Not to diss her viewership, because my viewers are still low compared to hers. But objectively, that is that. Like a duck's a duck. So, you best not believe everything what they say. She has just... No, not Nyara. I'm talking about Aurora. Oh, wait, but yeah, back to point. So, here's the problem with... And I'm coming to you all from the perspective of somebody who has somewhat of experience with this topic, but also had actual practitioners of medicine in that specific field. So, endocrinologists, geneticists talk about this, you know. So we're talking, and pediatricians. So I had like 3 different fucking doctors in this field tell me about this thing. All right. First off, on the topic of gender affirming care, and people really like to say that phrase, but in the broad sense. In a broad sense. Why? because when you ask somebody to explain it to you what it is, nobody can give you a concrete answer. And sometimes stuff is deliberately vague. For instance, hate crimes. There's no one definition of a hate crime. Because a hate crime is discriminatory, and this is how we in Serbia classify it as in our legal science. Because, spoiler alert, law is science, social science. Because we deal with people, and for us to create laws, enforce laws, interpreted laws, what's the one thing we need to learn the most? People. How they act, how they think. What is a person? What is a human? You know? And in not just in a legal sense, but hey A7, but in a social sense. Also, shout out Badger and Small A7 when you're here. You're a mod still, so I'm talking about some spicy tea drama. And the moral of the story why I'm talking about this, people should not talk about shit that they don't know, or not educated, that haven't gone through anything of an education wise to talk about it. Alright? That's the moral of the story. And Small and Strong, he was up here. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Because he called me a twink. Oh, mother of fucking God. Ah, thank you. So, let's get on to the very important stuff. Taking away my job. Well, you've been offline for years, so I had to do the job for you. So, but yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, so we have to learn about stuff. And we have a lot of people tell us stuff. So, what is gender affirming care? What is it? Because a lot of people are talking about this, but never explaining what the fuck it is. Because what people say, gender affirmation is medical stuff, vocal training, vocal surgery, and I'm not listing Google. I'm literally speaking off the top of my head because I have to learn about this shit. So I don't have a choice. It's a mandatory subject. But back to the point. What is gender affirming care? So basically, I'm gonna give you the layman explanation for that. That is basically anything medical related to affirming confirmation of someone's gender. So, that is treatments, surgery to speech therapy. And it's specifically to support a non-binary person or a transgender person in their gender transition. Because they have either gender dysphoria or generally don't connect, they identify with a different gender that they were assigned from birth. All right, that is gender affirming care. That is the actual definition of it.
Hello, motherfucker.
Anything else is not gender affirming care. People will say that is basically anything to support or affirm someone's gender identity. But they're pretty much also lumping, and this is from the aspect of somebody who is a legal guy, they're saying like hair transplants and stuff like that is gender affirming care. It isn't. It isn't. This is not what lawmakers and stuff like that mean by that. Because here's a lot of stuff that people do not understand. There's a reason why we are taught how to interpret laws. It's an actual science. Because laws are deliberately vague. Why are they deliberately vague? So that people don't abuse the laws. Because, for instance, let's say country X, for instance, your country specifically criminalizes a certain action. And deliberately ad verbatim by name, name that certain action as a criminal action. But life is not like that. Life has a million different nuances. And you can still get the same results, but you do a different action. So now you gotten the same result for the criminal action, and let's say it is morally reprehensible. But in the law, it's not a crime. Therefore, you cannot penalize it. You get my point? Why a lot of stuff in law, medicine, and a lot of the stuff is vague. And this is why you go to law university, specifically, to know what the actual meaning is. Because a lot of people do not know this. There's a reason why also and it's gonna be a topic for the commentary channel stream, which me and Badger are gonna do. Because certain people genuinely do not understand why certain stuff is it's not classified as that, and it's deliberately, separately classified. For instance, essay and unconsensual no-nos, you know? Certain masked VTuber doesn't know the difference. And he's maliciously also being obtuse and or maliciously ignorant of that fact. And it's a very dangerous thing that to do that, to mix both of those crimes and treat them as the same is a big no-no, because it will prevent prosecution and police for prosecuting and catching the perpetrator of said crime. You just don't do that. There's a reason why they're separate, because one is worse than the other. Both are morally reprehensible, but they're different. But back to the point. So I've seen the video people are talking about. I watched some of it. I couldn't watch most of it because I don't know. Most of the video was highly argumentative, and in my opinion, really, some people were really. She was really deliberately omitting some stuff. Like, for instance, she said that gender affirming care is social transitioning. It isn't. It's not at all GAC. It's not gender affirming care. It's not classified as that. It's social. It's a social act. It's not medical related whatsoever. It's important to do though. Why? Because it combats social ostracization. Oh my fucking god, again I have to connect to the chat. What the fuck? A lot of people do not understand this as well. And here's the thing, the moral panic that is happening in the US, and this is from an outsider's perspective, is a lot of queer people, specifically trans people, are very afraid. I can see why they're afraid. But a lot of people are using that specific fear to further some stuff and talk about some stuff that should not be talked about, or specifically touched about, and specifically from people who are not educated in this thing. That's my main gripe with this. A lot of people just aren't educated in this. But let's continue on with what Nyara does, alright? She really does obtuse this situation to an unhealthy degree. And she's the byproduct of sadly radicalized people on the internet. A lot of people, like, there are trans kids, there are. We cannot say and deny that fact. There are. In my opinion. You're pretty much gonna say that there aren't, but there are. However, gender dysphoria is a thing. It is a disorder. In the DSM, it's classified as that. And in my opinion, for you to be classified as trans, you have to have gender dysphoria. But it's something that not a lot of medical practitioners have researched about. It's a still discovered topic. What it creates and stuff like that. And in my opinion, you should not. If you're below 18, you can't go to this. You can't go to the surgeries. I'm sorry, because you have to go to puberty blockers and stuff like that. And here's where the endocrinologists have told me about why it's not, and this is why and I'm giving you a perspective of why lawmakers are not allowing that. It's because puberty is not just there to create secondary gender characteristics for boys and girls. It's also a whole developmental cycle for your entire body. Bones grow, muscle tissue grows and changes. Your organs also change and stuff like that, to fit your body. It can possibly create some developmental issues. Like France and Germany have at one point considered lowering the gender reassessment surgeries to lower them to 16. But then more research came out and they found out that bone density, if it happens, there's a very not so small chance of bone density to not properly develop. That's a very big red flag. And here's the thing about and here's what a lot of people do not understand about lawmakers when you're making laws or changing laws. You have to take the whole fucking picture and see risks. But when it comes to minors, people in the age of minority, there's a very big hard line of no. People, when you're creating laws like this and stuff like that, unless you're not 100% chance it's going to be safe for them, but 200% chance sure. Unless you're that level of sure, they're not going to touch it. They're not going to change anything. This is why there's a very rigorous checking procedures for PDFs, if you know what I mean. There's an extremely strict checking procedure, dotting your I's and J's to that point. Because it revolves around kids, around minors. And we humans are hardwired to protect our young. And that's how we survived as a species, basically, you know? So what now? And so you really see the discrepancy. Like, there is a risk, a not so small risk. And there are cases of it. I had to read them. I had them shown to me. Second of all, this is where the radicalization hits. And it coincides with the moral panic. The self-harm rates, if you know what I mean. Gender dysphoria plays a big part in this, and this is where the psychiatrics come in and told me. So what I'm saying now is not my own opinion, basically, but from medical professionals who know their shit. Like, these people who have spoken about this and give me lectures are people who have PhDs and are recognized in Europe as top experts. So you get my point. The biggest cause is not gender dysphoria. It plays a huge part, but it's not the biggest cause. It is social ostracization. And what is social ostracization? Because a lot of people who are watching the VOD and stuff like that are probably not going to understand what the fuck it is, social ostracization. You know what ostracization is, basically, right? Shunning. You know, but let me give you a definition, basically. It is deliberate exclusion. It is rejection, a social rejection, and you completely shut down somebody from from society to interact. That is the lead cause of trans Sudoku attempts. That is it. It has a higher percentage than gender dysphoria, and it is the main cause. Not just dysphoria, for trans kids, you know, harms. Because kids, and a lot of people do not understand this, kids now in this age are sociopaths with the rise of internet, TikTok, and stuff like that. For instance, for Christ's sake, there's a whole genre on TikTok where they're recording and live streaming bullying. Kids can be some of the most evil, despicable little goblins out there. And the main issue, and how do you combat social ostracization? Simple. Social transitioning and accepting it. That's where social transitioning comes in. That's literally what social transitioning is about. It's, and a lot of people classify it as gender affirming care. It's not. It is in fact something to combat one of the biggest issues trans people have, and that is social ostracization. Eliminate social ostracization, you will see a radical decline on self-harms. You will see a drop by 50%. I bet on that. You know? And I don't know if y'all fucking agree with me with that, but it is a general problem. You don't need, and then once you do that, you don't technically need minors to be on HRT and gender reassignment surgeries, because if they're socially now treated as their gender identity that they identify as, then they will have much easier time combating their gender dysphoria. This is what the experts told me about this, and it makes perfectly fucking good sense. You know, I don't know if y'all agree with me because everybody's silent, but it's just that. it's not, well, I mean, it is science, but it's not rocket science. And this is what a lot of chronically online people who are politically brain-rotted do not, deliberately also, do not understand. They will not ignore that fact. I don't know why. I genuinely do not know why they're so hell-bent on that. Like, it also kinda furthers the main issue, which is social ostracization as well. Like, it genuinely does. But Yara doesn't understand that. She doesn't. And that is a... I fucked up. I fucked up. Or have I? Or have I fucked up? Or have I fucked up? Hold up. I can fix that. So let's wet her blades again. Like, and here I gave you a little bit of an example of well, not just an opinion, but it is also an opinion of somebody who will work on this shit, you know? It is an opinion of somebody who actually has done genuine research about the topic, you know? I did. Like, I can't say I haven't, because I did, and I did it in good faith, because in my opinion, because especially since I am from the, well, country that, and region where, queer people are still not treated right, to the point where the queer people from here will call the queer people from the West, who are constantly flagging on Twitter, privileged. You know? Like, they move to their countries so that they can have more rights. When, like, to me, if you're from a country where my people are literally, like, selling their homes, you know, and sometimes leaving their families so that they can get better a quality of life, you're from a country that is privileged, you know. And in my opinion, if you're from, and I use that as a metric to see whether I'm privileged or not, you know. It's not rocket science, it's genuine facts. So what do you do then? So I already kind of disproved some of the claims she has now. I have to re-watch the video again and actually, like, take notes, because I am hearing a lot of rumors about her, not so good ones, from her Discord, ranging from her past Discord servers to her own behavior pattern. And I am genuinely digging deep into this person, because I am gonna see, from my perspective, who they are, their behavior, everything. Whether they're gonna get their own video or not, I genuinely don't know. She right now is a very touchy topic, because a lot of people are jumping towards the defense of hers. However, they're defending somebody they don't necessarily know and already has some sketchy behaviors. and already some hypocrisy. Like Badger, she pretty much you probably have archives for this. She probably defended. She did defend Vosh, but she defended him, if I understood right, till majority of the people from her own fan base called that shit out. Like, I can't be too sure, but I remember she disavowed him pretty late. To the point where maybe it's a little bit sus. Maybe. Can't be too sure, but you get my point. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I'm gonna snooze this ad. So already I have like a lot of fucking issues with her behavior. Because this also, like, as somebody who has actually done recently, activism again, I'm just worrying that she's just doing the talking the talk, necessarily not walking the walk. Like, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about her, whether they're true or not, up to debate. I'm not taking them at face value. More or less because I can't know a certain person without either a lot of evidence or talking to them myself. You just can't do that, Hold up. Oh shit, I forgot the YouTube tags. Fucking hell. Oh my god, I'm still not used to YouTube. There we go. Yeah, I'm also like leaving this as is, for the sheer fact that I am gonna like most likely off camera, shave, sand, like here, like how is it looks like. Look, it's pretty much sanded out, thinned out, all the shebang and whatnot and shit like that. But yeah, that's like my biggest gripe with Nyara. What I saw, like she is, in my opinion, deliberately omitting some stuff, twisting some stuff. She is definitely someone who doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And it's something extremely dangerous. Like, it's a extremely serious topic involving people in the age of minority, which there's a lot of risks involved as well, developmental wise. It's just something that you shouldn't fucking do. Why did I get pinged? Oh, nice. A friend of mine is in a musical. Smash thrashing. They love that shit, so I'm quite happy for them. For that, I'm genuinely being sincere. But yeah, and a lot of people now will see probably this, maybe clip me out of context, because you never know, because I'm seeing viewership fluctuating in and out. Like, I'm already like ahead with this and shit like that, so I'm not necessarily denying anybody's rights or anything. I'm somebody who is gonna swear to protect someone's rights. It's just, you can't act like this. You should be somebody who not only knows their shit, like actually somebody who is educated in this sort of stuff. You cannot talk about some trauma stuff. You cannot base your political opinions. You cannot you cannot form any important opinions revolving around trauma. It sucks, but there's a reason why that's the rule. A lot of people have already discussed about that topic. There's a reason why it's not like that, and it's something that you shouldn't listen to people on Twitter. You should listen to actually educated people, because there's a reason why it's not that, and you shouldn't look into biased sources, because they are that. There are biased sources which honestly you shouldn't look to as any source of information. Just shouldn't. There we go. Like, I genuinely hope that there is gonna be the best solution towards this. But Chief, that's not it. Chief, that's not it. Like, when it comes to people of age of minority, there's a hard line, and the biggest and the most important thing is to keep them safe. You want to combat that the extremely high Sudoku rates, deal with the social ostracization. That is the biggest factor revolved around this. Deal with that, it will drop. It will significantly drop, and trans kids will have much better lives with that. But acting this way is gonna further, and I think you probably will agree with me, that acting the way Nyara does, it's gonna further social ostracization. Because it is very sketchy behavior. Why does that specific thing, when there are dangers revolved around this? And you're talking about somebody of age of minority. Why? Why is that specific thing the most important topic? Why do you think it and these are my questions to these people. Like, why do you think this will happen? And more importantly, why do you believe them so wholeheartedly? Why? Like, that is just, these are just my questions. Why are people so hell-bent on making some, wanting to, you know, change a certain developmental cycle, which is the most important. Puberty is the most important
period in a human's life, because all of your people really have a why are people something to believe. My dad's giving me critiques like my sculpting is out of point, and he is right. It's a nasty habit of mine because I can't see from the phone. Like what was I talking about? Yeah, like it's a lot of people have a very planned point of view about puberty, like very narrow point of puberty, like, oh, you just develop your gender characteristics. It's not. It's the biggest point where your growth cycle comes and starts. Like in that period, hypophysia. I don't know how you call it in English. You know, the organ, the part in your brain, right smack dab in the middle, where it secretes the hormone of growth. Where, you know, it's the period. In that period, from what I understood, and also from my time in medical uni, because I was a med student, then I decided to quit that because nepotism. There's a lot of nepotism in the medical field. You know, puberty is the period where a lot of the growth hormones secrete from that gland. You know, and the growth hormone doesn't just develop your height, it develops your bones, it develops your muscle tissue, it develops every important thing in organ in your body, and that happens in puberty. You know, so and what I understood puberty blockers do is stop that. There are dangers around that. So that's so already then. Second, there's this common myth where in Europe, a lot of the surgeries, a lot of people, and even her, shown that, for instance, in Europe, don't need consent for surgeries. Those are only surgeries that need to save your life for the kid. And usually it is implied that you give consent, you know? It's very bad faith in that. And it's only reserved for surgeries that actually save a life, somebody from, you know, save a life, or somebody who is slowly losing function of their body to, you know, get surgery to help them get some kind of function in their body. It's just that. That's how I understood it. That's what I know, and that's what people from their respective fields have told me. So it's not just me making an opinion based on just an opinion. It's from talking to actual people who know this shit better than me. Genuinely do know this shit better than me. So, and it's not that bad to just ask. Do your own research. Ask these people. Many people have written a lot of stuff about this sort of thing. Like a lot of stuff. And they're still writing. It's a specific medical field which hasn't been that well researched. It's a whole new field. People, a lot of stuff will change their opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will be wrong in the future. maybe I won't. It's you know, there's a big fog of war because of that. You know, when you're playing those old RTSs where there's a fog of war, you don't know. You have to explore. You have to do your damn research. And when we're talking about kids, you have to do your 200% research. Don't just spout shit online. And specifically in a way where you just don't know whether it's from malicious intent or something else. And that's what, and I'm gonna close this thing with this dialogue about Nyara specifically, is she is very much not showing her true intent. Like, I've been, during my whole life, I've seen a lot of people, experienced a lot of stuff. Some stuff you can write about novels with as well, honestly. But some stuff, just don't fucking talk about it. That's my biggest advice for her. You are someone who hasn't shown any credentials to be certified to talk about this medically, legally, and stuff like that. I'm only talking about what I've learned from my own studies, from my own experience. She deserves to have a voice. Everybody deserves to have a voice. Completely, and that's freedom of speech. That is also the freedom of having an opinion. But there are some stuff which you should not talk about if you are not trained in that. I'm not somebody who can give medical advice. Hell, I can get into legal issues if I actually give people medical advice. You know? There's also why a lot of people can get into fucking deep shit if they give legal advice. Like, you can actually get sued if you give somebody legal advice if you're not authorized to do so, and also, by the way, if they get into legal trouble because of that. Like, you are the one who are at fault, majorly, and you're gonna get the fucking brunt end of the lawsuit. And speaking of legal stuff, let's get into the part where we are still talking about a serious topic, still talking a little bit about law, but we're gonna laugh at a fucking idiot. Johnny fucking Somali, everyone. Oh boy. Like, his case is so fucking universal that I am using it as legal practice. I am literally, not legal practice, legal education for my studies. Because it's the ultimate fuck around and find out situation. It really is. Like, you all don't understand. Like, I'm so happy Johnny got screwed. He is not screwed enough just yet. So, for those people who do not know who the fuck this little bastard is, Johnny Somali is a live streamer, you know, and in real life live streamer, and he decided to try to copy Iced Poseidon type of content, alright? And the trick is, Johnny Somali is notorious for going around in certain countries, he and his little friends, and there are specifically hardline countries, and to cause as much bullshit to people there, to the citizens there. You know, basically be an annoyance. So, and he has been in some issues before. He's banned from entering Japan. He fucked around in Israel, and for some apparent reason, I don't know how, he just got off with a warning and shoved out of the country, which I'm very surprised because Israel usually doesn't do that. And because of that, he pretty much got away scot-free. But he is a convicted felon in Japan.
This is an important factor, everyone. Remember this.
Yes, he did commit a felony there. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're gonna so talk about this little fucking bastard. Forgot he went to Israel. Yeah, there's an infamous picture of his where two Israeli gendarmes are basically carrying him from the bottom down to kick him out. Basically, you know the carrying when you're in a pub. Because you're British, I'm gonna explain to you. And a certain guy and certain fucking bastard comes to your female friend and starts being an annoyance to her, and you two just grab him by the fucking waist, bottom up, pick him up and throw him out. Yeah, that's it. That's the same fucking pickup. Alright? The same type of carry.
He went to Korea now, South Korea, of course, because oh, he cannot. If he somehow managed to get in North Korea, female friend, what is that? Hey, I'm trying to give you a little bit of credit, Badger, a little bit. But back to the point, and he did a lot of felonies there. He got high there. Problem number one, which I don't think there is charges yet filed for there, but East Asia, just like Serbia, by the way. Fun fact, weed here is highly illegal, and if you have a small grams amount of weed, you can get 5 years. Exceed that amount, because it's classified for personal use, exceed that amount, you'll be classified as somebody who is intending to distribute it. You could get 20 years. And I think it's similar in Korea. So he brought somehow weed there. He somehow managed to smuggle it. Or his little boo Hank, an important person in this little topic. Oh my fucking god, I plastered my finger on this and I shouldn't have. Probably got it, but he also is allegedly, because the bastard is live streaming even now to this day. Oh my fucking god, my gripping. I don't know where to grab. But yeah. Abusing prescription drugs, allegedly. Now here's the problem, how this is even bad. Because it's in Korea. In Korea and most East Asian countries, so I think it's also in Japan. I don't know how it is in China, but I'm presuming it's like that as well. You go to the doctor to get a prescription for it, okay? And they don't give you a whole box of it. Unlike here, for instance, in Europe, where you prescribe, you can get a box, and even though you have to take the medicine for like 2 or 3 days, you got a month's worth. You get exactly the amount of medication for X amount of days. And while he was live streaming, also showing that he is fucking late to his court hearing, and publicly admitting that he is high, there's literally in the fucking background, visible, anti-insomnia medication. Boxes of it. Whole films. That's what you call those little aluminium things where the pills are still films of meds. Yeah, he also streamed the night before getting fucking drunk. He puked on the fucking floor. I saw that. I was laughing. He was crying like a bitch. He is a bitch, but still, it was quite kino in my opinion. But I'm gonna get to that little streams, that specific stream as well, Badger. Don't you fucking worry. I know Legal Mindset is, and you should watch Legal Mindset's coverage of that, because he is somebody who knows Korean law, Asia law as well, but he's also like a well-practiced lawyer. So he gives far more insight in that. The also thing is that I am Serbian, and legal English, I'm still learning it. But get back to the point. So what he did, so he has like 4 charges that are known in the West District of Seoul, I think. And there's a 5th charge with the fucker leaked himself in the East District. Because here's a fun fact, there, and this is everywhere in the world, I think. There is no one court. There are multiple different courts, you know, and there's like, and the point of it is decentralization, because if there's one central court, it will be flooded. And usually courts are also, I don't know how it's in Korea, but I can say in Serbia, there's the 2-layer system. Primary court, which can sentence people from to a maximum amount of years, for instance in criminal court, in civic court, a minimum amount of damages. All right. And in Serbia, that is 10 years. The primary court, Osnovni sud, translated primary court, can sentence people in criminal law the maximum sentence of 10 years max. That includes stacking. And for those who don't know, and this is important, for this stacking, it's what implies you stack misdemeanors and that have been committed, or other crimes that have been committed in addition to the main crime, and that furthers the sentence. I think he has a 6th. That is alleged. We don't know. There are no charges brought up by the prosecution about it, so I'm not gonna talk about that alleged 6th one. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not gonna talk about that one. So, you all know what stacking is now? In the legal sense, stacking. Because it's very important to the whole conversation about his case. So, he has done a lot of felonies. They're not crimes. They're what we call here in Serbia prekršaj. And best I can say is it's either because you all they're misdemeanors / felonies. Felonies specifically, in his case. And here's the thing: most of the time, this only result. It can have, some felonies do have prison time, jail time. But it is an option. And here's the thing about Korea, and because they're very inspired by the Euro-continental law, from what I've seen, where there's no, unlike you all Anglo-Saxons, there's no jury, there's only a judge, which already makes it extremely harder for you when you make a felony. Second, it's more, from what I understood, how Legal Mindset explain it, and people can probably correct me on this, because it is something I want to be corrected about if I'm wrong.
they have like a civic system where there's no precedence. It's just checking boxes if a crime, misdemeanor, tort, or a tort has happened or not. The elements A, B, and C, which are cumulative, have they appeared in this case? If yes, it is that. And if it's that, then you proceed to the sentencing, which can be X amount, the minimum maximum. However, a lot of people do not understand this, and this is what... You know that infamous clip you sent me, Badger, before of Marina VT, which is in the commentary channel, by the way, the Tygali video. Go watch it. Marina, and a lot of people, and I can't fault her because of that, because they're laymen, and laymen kind of do not understand law, where you committed a crime, yes, but not every crime is the same. And specifically what we're, and what I mean by that, I'm sorry, one? No. If one committed a crime, she had an analogy on her stream that time where if one committed a crime and he is like X this and that, it doesn't excuse him from committing the crime. He'll still get prison time. That's her little analogy. Well, yes, she ignores, and a lot of people do ignore this really important factor: nuance. Because not every crime is the same. For instance, I'm gonna give you an example what we learn in law university. Yeah, you know that one. Let's say there was a crime committed. You're the judge. You're handling two cases of theft, but one thief stole from the victim out of greed, and the other one was because they're in a poor material situation, financial situation, and they have a sick kid, so they stole something to sell it to get funds for medicine. Both have committed the crimes. Both have committed crimes, all right? And they're gonna get sentenced anyway. They're gonna have a sentence. They're gonna have a positive sentence. What I mean by a positive sentence is there's gonna be a sentence and prison time. However, a lot of people do not understand that in law, there's two things that are fundamental that go into the sentencing and can also potentially, not always, but potentially change a sentence entirely. There's two: aggravating factors or aggravating circumstances, and mitigating factors or mitigating circumstances. They're basically certain situational elements that can happen in this little case, which are broad, by the way, can be implemented in multiple crimes, which are codified, so you can only use these as a judge, nothing else. Where you can lessen the sentence or change the sentence completely. So in this case, there are two people. Let's say this hypothetical thief. He was in a dire financial situation, and he is in a specific situation where he had a sick kid, and he did. Let's say in this situation, did everything possible he could have to get a legal source of income. But he couldn't, due to the factors that were not in his power to control. So because of that, the judge has to, not can, has to lower his sentence. So in this hypothetical sentence is like maximum 5 years. The thief who did it out of greed and stuff like that, he's gonna get the max sentence. But the other guy is gonna get, let's say, 2.5 years, and has
and you know, probation. 50% they can apply for probation. Of the sentence, like for instance, he spends a year and a quarter of that sentence, he can apply for probation, and most of the time in these situations he will get the probation. See what I mean? So there's these little things that a lot of people, and this is why I said when I was talking about Nyara, where there's some stuff which, unless you haven't gotten education for, you shouldn't talk about it. Because there's a whole slew of other stuff which are extremely important, but you don't know because you're not in that field. This is one of my biggest gripes about some people on Twitter. Like for instance, our favorite badger, Sylvie Spark, where he doesn't get that. Marina as well, she doesn't get that. I didn't deliberately, by the way, for those who think I misgendered, I was still in my mind thinking about Sylvie. So already you shouldn't talk about stuff like this, like law and stuff like that. You just should. It's something that there are so many nuanced things which are important. Like also like financial factors are also mitigating circumstances. There's also addiction, which is ironically a mitigating circumstance, and it can change someone's sentence. This, for instance, depends on the crime, but for instance, thieves and stuff like that, they can get, the judge will most certainly give them mandatory rehabilitation during prison, which is paid by the state. And if he completes the rehab and actually really does try, and people will check on this, there are lots of experts who know their shit, will keep an eye on him, that person 24/7, that he is taking the rehab seriously, it will lessen his sentence. Because he did it to feed the addiction, right? Therefore, eliminate the addiction, you eliminate the possibility of him recommitting a crime. That's the logical step in the process of thinking. But people just don't know. People are ignorant. They just do not get it. And that's why they shouldn't fucking use examples like this, or proceed to think about this. Because a lot of people debate on morality and legality, but they don't understand that morality and legality are extremely closely tied to. And the biggest issue why a lot of my professors shit on the American system, but also UK system, is because morality and legality don't necessarily intertwine in all of your cases. Like for instance, like in this situation, like let's say let's go back to the thieves. Is it morally right that you as a judge, for instance, for you to give the same exact sentence to someone who committed theft because he couldn't, he has a sick kid to feed and get medicine for, and compared to a guy who just did it out of his own greed? They're not the same, and morally you cannot give them the same sentence. And that's why there exists mitigating circumstances, mitigating factors. Voice of her, but it failed if their voice was worth hearing. Yeah, that's one of the key factors when I'm talking about. But also because of morality, by the way, closely intertwined, there's also the aggravating factors, which now we brought back to Johnny Somali. Alright? So, Johnny, let's get into one of his... he also pled guilty. Like, for those who don't know, he pled guilty. And he's gonna get, from what Legal Mindset said,
he doesn't exactly know, because you can never know. He's possibly gonna get 5 years of prison time.
5 years.
But there's still one charge that there still need to be a hearing. And to start, you know, there's another
Try that has to happen.
in April.
It's revolving around the 4th charge.
In that order, a 4th charge, alright? I'm just grabbing where I shouldn't grab. See, like this little thing? Okay, see this? Like already, I pushed so hard, I literally thinned it out. And now there's
No trim underneath. I have to learn where to grab.
So let's go back. Johnny's infamous action was him going to Korean 7-Eleven,
Plasteredly drunk and high, illegal. So he's gonna potentially, I hope he's gonna potentially serve drug charges, which are not a small thing in Korea.
you know, and it's a really big charge if that happens. He could probably get 10 more years because of that. He was plastered drunk, and he got a ramen, basically Korean ramen, and he's decided to spill it on the table. Because in Korean supermarkets, for those who don't know, there are tables there where you can eat. You can heat some meals and eat it there, which I find very nice. We here in Belgrade, there's a Korean supermarket now, which is like that, and it's quite nice. A lot of students.
It's near my faculty, the faculty of law.
It's near, so a lot of students come there. Because the dorm is also nearby, so a lot go there to buy food and stuff like that, or eat there, you know, because students.
There we go. I think this is gonna be done. The next phase of this is when it's cured. So then I'm gonna grab this little flat and scrape it. And then the next day after that, sand it when it's completely cured. So let's go on the right shoulder now. Apparently left, my right, but it's actually on the left one. So let's drop it like down here. And then we're gonna get all of the green stuff that we chopped off and everything, you know. But yeah, let's get back to point while I'm doing that. So he did that. He also threw that shit on customers and the store owner, which he of course reported, and there's a charge for that. Now that is a felony. That is disorderly conduct usually. But here's the thing: he was gonna get a worse sentence of that. Why? Can somebody in the chat tell me why he's gonna get probably would have if he didn't plead guilty for that. Would have he gotten and he still probably will get, because that's gonna take the judge is gonna take that into account. Why will he get a much stricter sentence because of that? Come on, let's get some engagement, okay? Or for those who are watching the VOD, write it down in the comments before I give you my answer. Why will he get a worse sentence? When I say worse sentence, a higher, stricter sentence. While I'm rolling this up and shit like that. I already gave you the answer if you listened closely. Why will Johnny Somali get a stricter sentence for his disorderly conduct? Because pleading guilty is saying, no. Not because he pled guilty. Pleading guilty doesn't do anything. You just admit fault. Usually people think that when you plead guilty, you're gonna get a lesser sentence. That's only if the prosecution and judge say so. They have the... People don't know... And that's what a lot of people from the Anglo-Saxon field of law do not understand. Because there, if you plead guilty, and usually sometimes you get a lesser sentence because of that. But that's only if the judge allows it. And the prosecutor allows it. Unless you have done a deal. And also, usually when you plead guilty, you cannot taxi backseat. In America, you can revoke the admission of guilt. But for instance, here, no, you can't. Unless the admission of guilt was done in an illegal manner. However, this is not what it happened. Come on. I gave you the answer. Why would he get... I already explained there's some... I'm gonna give you a hint. Aggravating factors, aggravating circumstances. I gave you all examples of mitigating circumstances. What would be an aggravating circumstance in Johnny's case? I already gave you clues. Come on, I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes, or 1 more minute to think, and give you an answer. Because this is very important. This is something that you all should know as well, as laymen. Because you can get into a shit ton of trouble because of this. A lot of people use it as an excuse to feign not being in a good mental state. It's not insanity. Starting with shot. No. It's because he was drunk and high. But either or, both, even worse. You see, usually people, and this is so common, you all do not understand. Because, you know the insanity plea where you say you were not in a coherent state and you cannot think straight. You know? And a lot of people use this as an excuse. Not their lawyers, they themselves use this as an excuse to say, well, I was drunk. Or I was high. I couldn't think straight. If I wasn't drunk or high, I wouldn't have done this felony or crime. Unless somebody force-fed you drugs or alcohol, that's not an excuse. You see, you deliberately, willingly, through your own actions, have put yourself in a state where you wouldn't think clearly. And it's not an excuse where I couldn't have known I would have done that. You deliberately put yourself in a state where you're now a risk of your actions. And that, my friends, is deliberately putting yourself in an incoherent state. Yeah, here's the thing. If somebody tricked you into being in a... And I'm not saying drunk. I'm saying in a not good state of mind. In a not coherent state of mind. That's the only way. So, for instance, if somebody, without your consent, unknowingly roofied you and you went on to do a crime, you prove that you were unwillingly roofied. Because, but yeah, let's say that. Then you're not at fault. Because one of the core 4 pillars of whether something is a crime or not, intent, the last one. And there's a specific order. And, oh, fuck me, I can't translate it in English. But, actually, I'm gonna look up the order. I have to look it up, the order. And because I want to translate it to you. So, One is specifically that the crime is committed by a human. If it's not committed by a human, it's not a crime. It is not an action of a human. Two, that it is predicted in law that it's a crime. Three, that it's against the law. Four, intent. Intent. And this is also in order of importance. There is a reason why that's in this order. And the judge has to identify, and the prosecutor has to see whether if this action is crime. To prosecute it, to commence trial and sentencing. Intent is very important, because if you're plaster drunk, sometimes you don't have the intent. You're removed from having intent. Because if there's no intent, but all three, then it's a casus, a case. But that's it, and you won't get punished for it if it's a case. The best example for a casus, that's how we say it here in Serbia, a case where there's a crime, but there's no intent, no negligence, nor deliberate intent. Where it's a casus, here's an example. Traffic accident. You know, a domino effect and stuff like that. Like for instance, you're driving, and there's heavy rain and ice, and you have also, and you're not a professional driver. You're just, you know, your average driver, because you know you have to look in the perspective of the average person in that situation. That includes if it's somebody a professional driver. How will a average professional driver react to that situation? So you, for instance, and it's the middle of winter, you changed your tires to the winter tires. Let's say you even change your tires. You put chains, you know, to get more traction. You're going down a little downhill, and there's a big fucking tree, and the owner of that tree in his yard didn't trim it, and it's covering the fucking stop sign. You're going into an intersection, and all of a sudden a fucking idiot is speeding 100 kilometers per hour. You, on time, put the brakes on, you still crash, and that leads to that person getting injured severely. Normally you would have been penalized because of that. However, you've done all of the preparations to prepare your car. You know, change the tires. You have driven in a normal legal speed limit. You reacted on time and shit like that, and also the surrounding factors: rain, snow. The stop sign has been blocked. Because of that, you won't be even charged with manslaughter. At least here in Serbia. You just wouldn't. If for instance, the person, let's say, passed from that accident, you wouldn't be charged at all, because there's no intent. That's a casus. And again, here's where morality and legality intertwine. Why would a judge then, in that case, sentence someone? Because he done his due diligence, and the surrounding factors in this situation were not in his favor. Because there's something called vis major, or in New English, vis major. I don't know what they call it. Basically, vis major is a situation where the environment, it's basically the environment. It's something that it's an event that you have no logical control over. Rain, snow, ice, tornado, shit like that. And because of that, because it's basically a casus, and casus are equated to vis majors, it's treated like it's an event in life where you cannot control. Because of that, you have no fault. Because they have fault, because there must be guilt of a crime. And this excludes guilt, intent as well. Therefore, why would a judge sentence you for that? Now, back to the point. You becoming drunk. You have, through your actions, grabbed that drink. You've taken a lot of it to the point you came into an inebriated state. And because of that, you've done something stupid. Johnny did that. He committed a felony, but while under the influence. And because you're under the influence, that is an aggravating factor. Therefore, the judge has to be stricter with you in the sentencing. See what I mean by now? See why Johnny now is fucked? Because everything he did was under the influence. Both alcohol and opioids and the funny grass. You know? Because of that, the judge, and because Korea criminalizes that, and it's socially also, because also you have to be aware, different countries' culture also bleeds into law. So for instance, if the country has a very severe no drug policy, you're gonna get a worse sentence because of that, because you were under the funny grass, you know, weed, or you abused prescription medicine. So already we have an aggravating factor. See what I mean? See what I mean when I say he's fucked? And that's just on the one charge. But it's also for every charge. Because he did everything under the fucking influence. He is probably also, I'm not gonna say he factually is, but he probably has an issue. An alcohol issue, a drug issue, or both. He's also somebody who definitely doesn't have insomnia. So those pills are not his, which is shown, that said anti-insomnia meds. You know, those are definitely not his. It's probably his roommate's, Hank's. However, Hank, how the fuck do you have that amount of medication? Because there are boxes, plural. And remember, Korea gives you the specific amount for how much you need. It definitely doesn't need that much. So, where did he get those fucking anti-insomnia medication? Where did he get them? And specifically, he is definitely giving them to Ramsey. Johnny Somali. That's his real name. The fucking idiot. You know? So already he is maybe breaking some stuff. Maybe breaking some laws because he's not a licensed medical practitioner to give someone medicine. And in Korea, I know for a fact that is very strictly regulated. So already, Hanky Poo might also get into some legal issues, and I do hope every single one of the people involved get the karma biting their ass. Yes, they're all deplorable people, extremely deplorable people. So now, already, this is one case where Johnny really fucked himself over, but however, there is more. So he also basically went into public transportation with dead fish in the plastic bags and started to wag them around and even throw them at people. Felony number 2, baby. Already he is stacking. And of course he was under the influence. He probably said during what he was doing, he was drunk and high. Oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny, I'm a law student and I already see the ass-gaping litigation that the prosecution has done. And you're so fucked. Sir, you say what? Oh, hi, Nukin. I'm just talking about a nuisance little fucking streamer called Johnny Somali. He is now, well, fucked because he's being prosecuted criminally in Korea for doing a lot of shit. I can't repeat myself because I've talked for an hour about this already. I don't know if you've been here. But let's get on to that. But yeah, basically TLDR, a streamer, basically a very big of an asshole, went the last 5 minutes. Okay, TLDR. All right, we can TLDR. Very big asshole streams. He goes to Korea to do asshole things while drunk and high. In Korea, abusing prescription medication and drugs are a big no. I just found out something that shook of me to the core. And what is that? Femboys, we opened there. Balby's from Invincible. Oh, the show is in that point now? Ooh. Oh, Mata Nui from Legend Reborn. I don't know who that is. Same voice actor. Oh, fair enough. I thought you were gonna say you just discovered who Battle Beast is, and I'm just like, oh boy. Battle Beast is a walking war crime. Have fun. Yeah, back to that point. Johnny, and you know, there, just like here in Serbia, you get the same amount of prison time as if you smuggled very hardcore drugs. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like he also did a lot of stupid stuff just deliberately to offend people. Like, people also call him a Republican, you know, a MAGA guy. He isn't. He doesn't believe in politics. He wears the MAGA hat just to piss people off, and to give him more points. If the opposite was, if he wore basically a Democrat hat, he would have worn that. Like, he doesn't do that. He looks at politics that benefit him. Just like politics in general. Que sera, sera. He went to the Comfort Lady statue. Now that is not necessarily a crime. Usually you get fined, but Korea is changing that because of him. Comfort ladies were sadly female victims in Korea of World War II from the Japanese army that unconsensually them. And what did Johnny do? He did sexual things to that statue. Wait, the twink is painting. No, I'm not painting, I'm sculpting. Also, hi Pickaxe and hi Troll. A7, you fucking bastard. If you're still here, shout out Zima, Pickaxe, and Nukin. Specifically Zima first. He's a cunt. I love him, but he's a cunt. He's a Serb like me. Don't you dare. Don't I dare. I double dare. I triple dare. Fuck you. If he doesn't... Acer is probably doing something, so I'm just gonna fucking shut you out, Ben. Been to Day of Dungeons this weekend. Finally got a good mini Wednesday's D&D group. Oh, speaking of D&D, I finally have D&D on the 15th. The group. We have now 2 more fucking players. Now, the group now has 7 fucking players. I'm just pitying LV, our DM. Oh boy, 7 fucking players she has to contend with. 7 or 8, something like that. Oh boy. That's a lot for D&D. Usually D&D campaigns have 3 or 4 players. 5 is already a stretch, but 7. Oh boy. But yeah, speaking of that, I'm talking about Troll. I'm talking about Johnny Somali and how he's fucked. And some words about the guy. Oh yeah, literally. No, here's the thing. The people in Korea literally started a manhunt. They put bounties on him. Oh yeah, like every single, like sadly I rolled a nat 20 as a joke whether or not I shagged a, I mean it's still the infamous campaign where I shagged a god again. That's my backstory. This time it was a femboy king of the fairies. So my character's not canonically bi. Hey, he bred that twink. Sadly it wasn't successful in breeding. But yeah. Anyhow, back to the point. But like I said, he committed a lot of felonies. Of the sorts I've just mentioned, okay? He also... Now this is a crime. A sexual crime. And no, before you think what the really bad ones, no, he deep faked. See, in some countries, I don't know if it's here as well, in Serbia, I have to now check because of that now. But deepfakes, making sexual deepfakes is classified in Korean penal law as a sexual crime. And he's been prosecuted in the eastern part of Seoul. So different judge, different jurisdiction, shit like that. In that case, I don't fucking know what the fuck is gonna happen. However, that case he's royally fucked even more. That's a mega serious case, which he also fucking leaked that there were charges brought up on him. That's a no-no as well. I am pitying that different defense attorney he has for what he did. He also did it while he was drunk on meds. This fucking idiot. So let's get on to the trial. Because he done some stuff as well on live streams and in the courtroom. So one, he live streamed the day before his trial. He was drunk as a fucking mule and high. Maybe how? He can't. He's being monitored in his apartment. Whether he leaves, he has to literally ahead of time announce that he's gonna leave his apartment. He has to. He can't. Second, the moment he fucking tries to get, how can he go? Cause that's hundreds of kilometers from Seoul to the border. Here's the thing. If I say he has nothing of value, I'm insulting nothing. It's not zero value, negative value. Like negative nano, negative value. Alright? So during that little stream of his, and I watched the VOD of this because people of course have fucking archived it. God bless you. God bless the ones who did. He was okay. Let's. I have to list this because he did a lot. He was. Is the negative value impossible? Well, Johnny did it, so yep, it's very possible. So one, he was drunk. He started saying slurs about the prosecutor and judge. And by the way, those VODs and everything. The court can, the moment somebody notifies them, And that's, even though if he deletes it, it's still in the database. Court order, the judge has full discretional authority to just order those VODs, even if he deletes them. However, people are recording him and stuff like that. Also, I don't want to publicly say some stuff what the prosecutors might do, because I don't want to give him any info as well. A lot of us who know some legal stuff are deliberately also being vague and not saying everything. So, that alone is gonna definitely affect the sentencing. What do I mean by that? It won't. Here's the thing with civic law, where there's no jury, but a judge. You see, judges have discretional authority. They can, if you acted good and stuff like that, they can maybe give you a lighter sentence during your background plus your behavior during the trial. Maybe, if the law allows them to, then they will, because we're human, you know. And morality, this is again why I say a lot of the times legality and morality intertwine, is just a lot of some countries are dog shit with legal systems, UK and America. A lot of laws and a lot of stuff is not punitive. It's not just retribution. Because what is the main point of prison? Because the very hardcore crimes are only 10% what happens in court. Only 10%. Or something like that. It's not that lot. It's like petty crimes, petty theft and stuff like that. More the point of prison, and that probably in America is, it's to protect, not just that, it's also to rehabilitate. Like, in America and stuff like that, it's totally different because prisons are privatized entities, and I don't have a lot of good opinions about that. But yes, it is partially to protect society, but also partially to rehabilitate the people who committed crimes or felonies or misdemeanors or torts even. To rehabilitate them. That's one of its functions as well. That's why a lot of, for instance, countries are implementing mandatory reading and studying in prisons. Not to every criminal, but to those who committed minor things. Because one of the most biggest reasons why people commit crimes is lack of education. Yeah, I know. That's the trick. That's why I'm not saying. That's why I'm saying usually. I'm not saying for US and stuff like that. And in my opinion, that is wrong. In my soon-to-be professional opinion, because I'm gonna carry this throughout my life, that's opinion that it's a wrong way to handle this. There's a reason why the US is first in fucking crimes, and not only that, first in fucking violent crimes in the world. Because the point of prison is to rehabilitate. Same as juvie. Juvie is especially to rehabilitate people of the age bracket of age of minority. I'm speaking as a lawyer here right now, alright? So, that's the point. And this is why judges in civic legal systems have this discretional authority. This is why we have mitigating circumstances, like your background, your age, the reason why you committed that crime. Because I'm gonna, you're a lawyer, soon to be one. Yeah, I have 2 exams left. I'm in law unit. I'm a law student. Yeah. You know this, Nana. You're an OG. But yeah. This is why I'm actually even talking about this. If I didn't study this, soon to be a professional, stuff like that, I wouldn't be talking about this, because I'm of the opinion that if you're not educated in this sort of field, don't fucking talk about this. My first day is in Canada today. Oh, nice! I remember that. Nice. I am sorry for you to professionally be doing math all day, but you get paid for that, so maybe skill issues, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like there's stuff that are called aggravating and mitigating circumstances in any case. Like I gave this example, but I'm gonna TLDR it because I already talked about it. But you have two people who committed a crime, theft. They robbed the store. However, one did it for petty greed because he doesn't want to fucking work an honest job, and the other one is because he is indentured, so not in good materials. Hey Nick, I'm giving a long example of legality and morality and how it is not how what people think, that they're separate. Most 99% of the time they aren't separate. It's just if that is not what it is, then your legal system is kind of shit. Like I said, the second criminal, thief, robber, whatever you want to call it, has done it because he is poor. He is not in good material circumstances, and he is he has a sick kid with a very serious illness, and he doesn't have funds for it. And before that, he tried his best to get a normal, stable job, but he couldn't, and it was through the circumstances that were not in his control. So a vis major, that's what you call circumstance that is not under your control. A vis major. Or vis major, if you're American. But you get my point. As a judge, both of them have committed a crime, and civic. And doing good, man, just hanging out. That's great. I'm gonna continue that conversation. Just let me finish this real quick. This is important, but a lot of people need to know. They both have committed the crimes. In civic cases, they did this and this. This is obviously crime. However, morally, a judge cannot, because this is here in Serbia. If I was a judge and I give them the same fucking sentence, the other guy can file for a mistrial and lower his sentencing. That is not good for the legal system. Not good for the judge as well, by the way. Morally, I cannot give the same sentence to the other thief who has a sick kid and sadly was forced, basically because of the whole fucking situation he was in, to commit that crime. I cannot. Because of that, that is what we call a mitigating circumstance. A mitigating factor. And that is, by law, predicted. Not every situation is a mitigating circumstance. Only that is predicted, that is codified in law for that. So not everything. But you get my point. I cannot, as a judge, morally, but also as a judge, for instance, cannot penalize him the same way as the other thief. I cannot. I have to give him, he qualifies to get a lesser sentence. Ergo, he will get a lesser sentence. For instance, instead of, let's say, 5 years, he'll get 2 years probation, half of the time spent in prison to qualify. So in a year and a quarter months, because every month and day is calculated for this, exactly, he has then, after that specific amount of time, he is qualified to ask for probation. And because of the circumstances, he is most likely gonna get probation. You know? And this is where morality and legality connect. This is where they are intertwined and important. Now, I know in America this is not the case. And because of that it's not the case, it's shit! But yeah. So see what I mean here. But like I said, because when there's something, there's the opposite, aggravating circumstances. And that's what Johnny Somali has done. Yeah, now I've been a typical lawyer. I blabbed and yapped and didn't get to the main point of the convo, but you get my point now. I explained it, legal TLDR. By the way, even if you shorten anything in legal, it's still fucking long. So when a lawyer says TLDR, he's still gonna blab, but he's not gonna say everything. So yeah. Back to the point, the deepfakes. Here is the prosecution has forward I can't say it in English. Podigla tužbu. So they basically they forward an action where they are gonna put him on trial for that under the criminal act of distributing of sexual crime, of committing a sexual crime, which is committing a deepfake, which in Korea it is illegal and classified as that, and criminalized and penalized. All right. You already feeling? Now, another thing, because he pled guilty, guess what happens? That is an aggravating circumstance, because usually when you commit crimes, you get a worse sentence, an aggravated sentence, more than average. So more than you can get a bigger sentence, at least here, if you were a convicted felon, a repeat felon. So, and this is where you can possibly get in duplo. If you already committed another crime and you were a convicted felon, the judge, for instance here in Serbia, has full discretional authority to worsen your sentence, even though usually you wouldn't get that sentence. And from what I've heard, from what I understood, he can really get some legal issues now. So instead of 5 years now confirmed, basically confirm what he's gonna get, he might spend 10 years in Korea. And Korean prisons are not American prisons that violent, but they are violent criminals, and he is very much well known, because here's the funny fact. Prisoners have access to TV, and he was in the national news. They all know what he did. He's fucked. In my humble opinion, he is fucked. Both, not in the literal sense, but he's soon to be fucked by Hyung as well. You know what I mean. Saw a new video on YouTube. Oh, you mean the one I linked? Yeah, thank you, Nick. It was a real head scratcher to me, because the entitlement for the Suica model drama and the false racism accusations out of nowhere. As somebody who is not a Westerner, that shit was unacceptable, wrong, childish, and I had to talk about it. I'm also in the process of collecting stuff and writing the script for the third one, which is gonna be soon, because they're gonna be very close now. Because I'm not posting the Niji Sisters video anytime soon, because Niji Sisters are rabid dogs, which will fucking mass report you. I experienced it sadly on Twitter. They failed, by the way. I was fucking laughing. I pissed them off because I just mentioned a site a lot of them love to go in, and it's a infamous doxing, brigading, foul site that Kiwi Farms and 4chan collectively call abhorrent. Korean prisons are staffed my manhwa characters, to my knowledge. Not necessarily.
it's, how do I say this? They're not European prisons, but they're not American prisons.
But here's what you Americans or Westerns do not understand. Not every European prison is prim and proper. The Balkan prisons here, so Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, Turkey, Greece, and everything like that. Oh, well, no. Oh, he is lucky he did this in Korea, not in the Balkan countries.
Because he would do some stupid fucking offensive shit in... One, he will also get manhunted like he did in Korea. But two, prisoners have access to TV and internet.
And a lot of them would
Fucking bash... A lot of him would do not so kind stuff to him. Especially since cells are shared not by 1, 2, or 4. 1, 2... Not shared by 2 or 3 people. They're shared by at least 10. Oh boy. You all don't understand how he's lucky he didn't come here. He should be begging his lucky stars he didn't come here. I would also have a fucking field day just analyzing his case. I would dedicate my entire fucking channel in that situation. I would be the legal mindset in this situation.
I have a buddy who works as a prison guard. Heard some pretty funny stories. He got violent with a guard on the last day of his sentence. So yeah, he got picked up again, put in the hole for 4 days.
Yeah, he probably also got trialed as well, and he probably got another couple of years sentence because of that. Like, I can't believe... I mean, it's prison. A lot of people are not that bright who go in there. It's sad, but it's true. They're not that bright. But yeah, let's go on to other... Let's go more for Johnny Somali.
There's just prison punishments. Oh, he didn't... okay, he still did it while in prison. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I misunderstood you there.
But yeah, let's get back to Johnny, because he did a lot of stupid shit. But yeah, that's for the Eastern District case. That's still not happening just yet. Alright? So, that's still not being procedured. But he's definitely gonna get a worse sentence because he pled fucking guilty. You see, this is a tactic where prosecution, what prosecution does. So you're gonna be a little bit beware, because prosecutors are, they're a different breed of people. You see, they're very meticulous and plan very much ahead. You have to do it as a job, but they also plan ahead for if you committed multiple crimes or felonies. They will plan ahead and set you up. Because here's the thing, prosecutors, they have to be moral as well. But it's their job to prosecute you, to put you in prison. You know? And that includes giving you more sentences. Because also it goes in their record. And it's very good on their record. You see, if you committed a crime in succession, so they can stack it. What they like to do is make you admit guilt, plead guilty.
Because a lot of people think that when you plead guilty, you're gonna get a less sentence. That's only if the prosecution gives you that, and that's only also if the judge allows it. So already we have some multiple factors that a lot of people do not understand because of films, and prosecutors know this because of films and TV shows, that people have some kind of warped perception about it, but it's in their favor, so they kinda don't talk about it unless asked. Because they can't lie to you. They can't. Objection, hearsay. No, it's actual fact. That is fact. So overruled. And I know the reference. It's the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. But let me get back to the point. So they will make you admit guilt. Objection, Serbian elf. Overruled, racial prejudice, ethnic prejudice. Try again. Overrule, elves have it coming. Racial prejudice. Overruled. You can't overrule, you're not a judge. In this case, you're an attorney. You don't have the discretional authority to overrule an objection. And you cannot overrule an overrule. You can object to an overrulement. However, that can be overruled as well. Don't fight legal battles with me, boy. I know some stuff. I know some of my shit. Not all of it, yet. But I know my shit somewhat. Here's a funny joke. Me? Look in the... do I have to look in the mirror? Because that is a funny joke. Me. Ask him an efficient. He says 4, right? Oh, it's a lawyer joke. It's a lawyer joke. I fucking know. Actually, I think I know this joke. And ask a lawyer, he will literally debate you for 2 days that it's and ask you whether in a scan 3 + 3 he says what do you want it to be. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah, tax. Accounting joke. Okay, I know there's a lawyer joke like that, starts like that as well. That is an actual joke. Yeah, that's a good one actually. Good boy. But yeah, so let's get back to the point. So Johnny Somali did all of that, what I just said. Let's get back to what he did during the trial. So not only he was late, he lied to the judge that he was is gonna be late for 15 minutes. To his lawyer as well, he lied. Already not a good look. Second, all of his mates literally for some reason think that they would get away scot-free. Literally. They have some... These types of people are very common, by the way. They're not exceptions. They are literally a prime example. Because it happens a lot. Where they think they actually didn't do shit. They can't do shit to them. The problem is that they're basing this off of what they did in Japan. It's because the Japanese just didn't want to fucking deal with them, and they just convicted them, slapped them a fine, and banned them from the country, because that's the easiest thing to do, man. Why would they fucking bother with a speck of dust? That's what they are, a speck of dust to them. Yeah, far more important stuff. But the Koreans are a different breed, and they don't take the shit lightly. Precisely because what he did to the comfort women statue. Yeah, that's one of the sole reasons why they actually took him serious. You know, and they want to make an example out of him, because Korea sadly has a problem with nuisance streamers. Nuisance streamers being people who come to a country to literally be the biggest pieces of shit known to man. So they want to make an example of him. So he came late, drunk, hangover. In the morning stream he admits that he's high, so he came possibly to the court on medication. Illegally procured medication, abused prescription medication. So already he probably did something more, but they have to prove that. But he admitted he was high, and and an hour or two later of that stream, he went to court. All I'm saying, he most likely was. He came in with a MAGA hat in court. Now, you cannot have any sort of fucking hats on. However, you can also not have anything with political symbols on in your court during the trial, during your trial, or any trial. So already he broke two stuffs. Now, that is not necessarily... Now, usually you don't get anything out of that. What I mean by that, you don't get you know, a sentence or something like that. Usually. Sometimes you might, but that is also under the discretion of the judge. You might, but usually not, get fined for that. However, that's disorderly that is contempt of court. So now I'm gonna explain to you what a contempt of court is. Basically, it's a broad term for any action you do in defiance towards the court, okay, the judge, prosecution, during your case. All right. So already I defined to you a little bit what contempt of court is, and it's a very, very, very broad term, an extremely broad term, and it's deliberately broad because it's in most of it because it's under the discretion of the judge to determine whether it's something contempt of court or not. And that is an aggravating factor. Now, what can happen? A lot of stuff, so I can't even... Because in these situations, the judge has a lot of discretional authority. A shit ton of it. A lot of it. Oh, a metric shit ton of it. Like you all don't... That's why you don't piss off a judge. Because you don't know what he can do to you. He has a lot of discretional authority within the law to do stuff. So, and in this case, usually is he might not get anything. However, it will make the judge not look into his favor. That is not something you want during a trial. You don't want to be on the judge's bad side, because for some things that he could overlook or give you like a mitigating circumstance so that you get, like, instead of 5 years, 4 years, because that is a privilege. Mitigating factors are a privilege, not a right, during your little trial. I pressed too hard and got so not, but in the end it doesn't even matter. Yeah, I pressed and then because of that I flattened this, and because of that this here is now, oh fuck, way too thick, and this part way too thin. So now I'm literally guiding the green stuff to its intended path while shaving off the excess
and molding it into a more straight line, if you will understand. But yeah.
There we go. Wait, you're telling me that it's not a good idea to piss off one of the one that can decide to give you a couple extra years in prison? Yeah. What's next? It's illegal to drink and drive.
You'd be surprised how many Americans actually think that it's not illegal to drink and drive. That it's their God-given rights, just like free speech. Free speech is a privilege now, right? Second of all, freedom of speech doesn't exclude freedom of consequences. And that's all I'm gonna say to everybody. Oh, I pressed this as well. Oh, I'm such a... I'm done. I'm genuinely done. I can't believe I didn't even feel it. And I'm mad because my hands are really big and I just have a very wide grip. Yeah, big hand problems. Yeah, moved everything here. Okay. I'm just gonna use this situation. Maybe salvage it. Let's see. Let's see, it's okay. This. I can't. Joking, right? No, I'm not joking. Some Americans really do think. Yeah, I've seen it, and more importantly, my godparents have experienced that in North Carolina, where some of them actually believe it. They actually believe that. Like, it's so weird. I just call it main character syndrome because it's a perfect depiction of the mentality of that main character syndrome. Yeah, you can see already the visual discrepancy of this and this, the left and right side. Fucking hell. Okay, hold up, I have to do this off camera. Hold up, I have to bring back the edges. Okay, that part is done. This part. Because I still have time before this actually, because it's still soft, I can do this. However, once it becomes hard, you just cannot. Alright, back to this.
Gonna lurk and make dinner. Oh, that reminds me, I have to
take a small break because my hands are shaking. I have a fruit platter here, so I'm gonna eat it. I haven't had supper, so I'm gonna... Okay, first off... Little fucker. Should be here. There we go. Okay, next little line. But yeah, back to what Somalia has also done. So he acted like that. He did that. Next, he was so you know in court where everybody has a designated seat where you're supposed to sit. You know, the defendant, the accused, aka the lawyers, the prosecutors. They all have a seat specifically designated, and you have to strictly follow that. Johnny tried to get into the area where the public attendants are, so basically anybody who has an interest of watching to be in that case or were involved. Legal mindset, the guy who he vehemently fucking despises and documents him thoroughly even now in his trial, he would try to do an intimidation tactic on him because of that. You try to not just intimidate him, but provoke him in front of the judge. Boys, do you understand how bad that is? That is, again, contempt of court and disorderly conduct in court. You know, where you can be removed from the court trial and then banned from re-entering it, you know, and you also then you're gonna be trialed without you attending it, and I'm gonna say this: if they kick you out of your own trial, and of course when they do that, they're gonna proceed in your trial without your presence, almost 100% of the time, it's gonna be the guilty verdict. It's not necessarily 100%, but statistically, it's never in the favor of the defendant or the accused. Statistically, it's just not. It's not good. It's really bad when that happens. Because remember, in these cases, you're persuading a judge. Let alone, let's say, the Anglo-Saxon, you know, where you're jury-based. That doesn't look good for you in front of the jury. You know? It doesn't look good at all. You're thoroughly, as that one Australian TikTok say, you're fucked! You're fucked, mate! You're fucked! And you are. And sadly, that is, like, you have to behave, and that will, again, affect your sentencing. Because it doesn't look good with judges. And the prosecutors, while weirded out by it, they're silently thanking you for making their job easier. Oh god, this is such... This whole case is so fucking stupid that you would think that it's a Ace Attorney fucking episode. But it isn't. It's an actual thing. An actual case, something that actually happened. I pray to the developers of Ace Attorney to make a meme case inspired by good old Johnny Somali. Make that game. My soul is yours. I will buy an Ace Attorney game for once in my life, and I will suffer through the cringe of those trials. Dear fucking god, they're so unrealistic. I hate them. A7, if he's still here, when he used to stream, he invited me to watch his playthrough of Ace Attorney, because I've never seen that. I heard about that game, but I've never seen it. So he wanted to. Oh, you're a law student. You want to see how it looks and give your comments about it? I'm like, well, fuck yeah. And then I'm just like, oh god, this is torture. Why are you torturing me with this? Why is this female prosecutor whipping the judge? Why are they talking back to the judge? Why are they insulting the judge? Why? Why? Wait, this is not how it happens. This is not realistic. Hey, Ace Attorney Bohemian Edition. You mean Kingdom Come Deliverance? Wait, they have a fucking medieval trial there in the new game? Because I have the first game, but I don't have the sequel because I'm poor and I need a better graphics card. I'm literally saving up. I'm not gonna be buying any more Warhammer stuff because I'm very close to be able to buy a new graphics card, so I'm saving up pretty much. 2 is a fucking dream. Yeah, I heard it's good. Seems to run fine in my 26. Well, fair enough, but I still want to upgrade my graphics card, you know? I still want to do it. Either way, I'm not gonna... And like I said, I'm fucking poor. So yeah. So yeah, Johnny did that as well. Third of all, he now I'm gonna disclaim this. He wasn't under oath when he said this, but he was questioned by the judge what was his occupation. He said student. He is not. He's not a student of any kind. So this is not what he did. Perjury, and perjury is basically when you're lying under oath. But that could be considered contempt. He was also asked. I mean, you get asked when you're going into Korea. Were you convicted of any crime or felony before? He had to say no, but he is. Japan. He was in Japan. So he is lying. He shouldn't have but sadly, he came in during the time where Korea was heavily trying to promote tourism again to revive their economy after COVID, so that little check they didn't implement. It wasn't outlawed, it was just not implemented so that they can, you know, get some more money, more tourists for shit like that. You feel me? And sadly, Johnny kinda abused that. So he already pretty much lied a lot. This is also a funny thing where he is asked through the interpreter, where's his address? He said, I don't know, I don't speak Korean. He says, do you remember the hotel name or at least the apartment number? And he says, well, I don't speak Korean, so I can't say it. And the judge basically goes, say it in English. The number. Say the apartment number in English. And then he asked him a rhetorical question, because here's the funny thing about this. Judges already know where you live, the address, everything. They know everything. They're asking a rhetorical question. They know the answer. They're just testing out whether you will lie or not. So I'm telling you all that straight up. They already know. A judge, by the time you get into his court, he knows what basically, it's a joke here in Serbia, but the judge basically knows what type of cake your mother loves when you go into the court. They already know everything about you. Well, what they can legally get, you know. But they already checked you. They already know. This is just, and a lot of people do not know this, but they're just testing you. Judges are sometimes clairvoyant. Hey, here's the thing. People are creatures of habit. They're years in advance. I mean, yeah, that's also the joke here. But here's the thing. Humans are creatures of habit. And some of the stuff we humans do is just not unique. I'm gonna tell you straight up, Johnny is not even a unique case. He is just more widely known because the internet decided to, because he's one, that much of an asshole, but two is that people are fed up with these types of content creators. But he is not the first and the last, sadly. You know? He's not the first, he's sadly not gonna be the last. So, but because of that, judges already can predict some stuff. Because to be a judge, you have to know the law well, but also experience it. Once you're named as a judge, for instance, I don't know how it is in Korea, but here, judges are in two phases. One, you have a temporary term of 3 months, and then afterwards, you got the permanent position. You know, you're basically a judge till you retire or quit. You know, being a judge is a long-standing position, and judges have seen and heard it all. Like, they have seen and heard it all because a lot of people just say the same thing to defend themselves and shit like that. Like, they just know, okay? They know. They know what you're gonna say. They know what you did. They already know. And some of the time, they already sentenced you. Like, there are some cases where it's cut and dry. Like, clear, black and white. Like, there's some evidence. They already know, but they still proceed to trial. One, because it's the constitutional right of yours. It will be immoral if they don't have a trial, because you never know. You never know, because there could be also evidence tampering and shit like that. But in Johnny's case, because the evidence is so clear, cut, and dry, the judge already knows. It was just a matter of whether he would say he is guilty or plead innocence. It's literally that. It's just that. That's that type of case, you know. But somehow he fell for the prosecutor's little bamboozles and decided to plead guilty. And here's the thing, the defendant of his didn't like him. From what Legal Mindset said, and he probably thought, because public defenders are lawyers, but also every lawyer is a human. But also, the fucker lied to his lawyer. Here's the thing. Public defenders, how I say this, they have to defend you when a lawyer is sad, because either they're designated public defenders or they're lawyers, but they were called by the judge because it's a case where they have to have an attorney present. So here's the thing: the defense attorney won't be negligible. He will do his job. He will. But with these types of clients, defendants, he is most likely not gonna give his all. He will do the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Just so he doesn't be negligent. Because he wants to fucking get you off his back. You know? Because not all lawyers want to defend an asshole. They get paid, and that's it. And in these types of situations, unless they are really passionate about the job, they will do the bare minimum when it's clear cut and dry they're guilty. You know? When it's that clear cut and dry. And if you are also pissing your defense attorney off, yeah, he is gonna do the bare minimum, and that's it. You're fucked. You're just fucked. Like, yeah, like, people really, it's like a lot of people genuinely do not know this little known fact. Now, private attorneys, they will defend even Satan. Not Diddy though. The guy, the lawyer he hired basically went, oh hell no, I'm getting the fuck away from this case. Just what did Diddy do? What did Diddy do? Even I am asking myself what the fuck he did. I'm also not paying attention to that specific case. Mostly because it's that serious. So I'm gonna wait for it to... And also, it's something like... Actually, no, I should actually pay attention to it for my legal studies. More like who didn't did he do? You better ask what he didn't do, because allegedly, I mean, he has necrophilia charges. So yeah. Oh, I hate how this looks. This little line here. I hate how it looks. Gonna cut it up some more. Then afterwards I'm gonna... Oh, I did it again. I fucking did it again. Vex, you fucking bastard. Oh, you idiot.
The curse of having humongous hands.
The curse of having big hands. Yeah, Diddy's case is what he didn't fucking do is the better question, because he probably he spanned run a lot of crimes. Like he literally acted like it was a fucking Legend of Zelda speedrun any percent. Shit, man. Like, no wonder 50 Cent has a huge fucking hate boner on him. He's taking every chance he gets. Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah. You know that infamous 50 Cent Instagram pic, like, with Diddy being sitting on his bicycle, and 50 just out of nowhere on his own fucking post goes, you know he's smiling because that bicycle doesn't have a seat on. The worst part of it is that the seat wasn't visible, so he might have been right. Fuck. That was broad daylight fucking kaputting. The actual No wonder 50 had his own little... No, shot 50 times. Not 50 times. He was shot like 10 times and shit like that. Like, no wonder. Because damn, the dude's a fucking menace. That's a... Like, he's also, the fact is that he's genuinely funny. So when he roasts someone, you're gonna laugh. You can't help but laugh because damn 50 fucking hell, dude. Oh shit. Like, my guy. You didn't have to do that to him. He's already gonna rot in prison. Like, my guy. Oh, again I did it. I can't. I don't know where to grab. Actually, I know where to grab, it's just my hands are too big to grab it. Like, I have a lot of fucking... Like, I have huge hands, like I used to have a controller, and I would grab the controller. Like, I can't physically just normally, like normal people grab. People get weirded out by that, but Yeah. But yeah, back to John, because there's more. There's always more. I'm gonna straight up tell you all, there's always more in these cases. So, his friend, the white guy, not Hank, Hank is Asian, who is apparently, allegedly a gigolo. So, Johnny, are you and Hank doing the hoinky sploinky? The say gex? Like, I don't judge whether game is game, but yeah, I'm making a little bit of fun of him because Johnny is notoriously homophobic. So, in my opinion, it's fair game.
Yes, the best way. Okay, I'm just looking at the miniature because I fucking again pressed too hard. Oh, fuck me. I just can't grab.
I don't know where to grab.
I'm just gonna put another small just layer of where I flatten everything, and I'm just gonna chisel it out. Like I use this as a chisel. It's a wood carving small flat blade.
So yeah, I can just use that as, because I have some carpentry skills. Fun fact, lads. Fun fact about me. I come from a long line of not just only petty knights, but also carpenters and blacksmiths. No, Sally, I don't know blacksmithing.
Which is goddamn awful, because I do plan to learn blacksmithing
when I'm older. Well, actually, no, I am old. When I get sustainable income and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So basically, after I graduate law university, I am pretty much gonna go to my fucking little countryside home, I settle my village,
and make a fucking blacksmith shop. And I'm just gonna make shit there.
I do not even give a shit. I'm gonna get that permit, because you need a permit for that, and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna hammer. I am just gonna hammer everything. First, I'm gonna hammer the metal, then I'm gonna hammer your mom. Yiggity. Ho-ho. Wait, no. What does Quagmire usually say? Giggity, giggity. Alright.
I love Quagmire.
He's just that perfect of a asshole, and because he is definitely someone you most likely do know and acts like that. He's just the embodiment of an asshole, a tit, a twat. The list goes on and on. Sex pest, of course. Also, Badger, you here? Now I remind myself. I want to first see if he's here or not. Oh, you little fucker. You shouldn't. Yo, okay. After I make the Kyoto / LXOX video for the commentary channel. We have to prepare for the reading the Silly Spark doc and the Torakaru. I have those docs. I have read them before, but because Sylvie really likes to fucking talk about that doc, and he is severely mixing up unconsensual no-no with SA, a dangerous mix-up. We're gonna read everything, start to finish.
Alright?
I've talked to you before about that, but I'm just telling you a heads up. So when are you gonna stream, Badger? I haven't seen you stream for a long time. Shit, man. Okay, this is now way too fat, like way too thick. However, remember my Padawans, I am gonna shave this down when it cures, and I'm gonna sand it. So don't worry, I'm down to read it all. Okay, we're gonna first read that Sylvie doc. It's 50. His reply is 50 fucking pages. I'm planning to. And you're gonna be there from one because you are pretty much a Sylvie expert. But also, I need a second pair of eyes. Stream the other day. Okay. I also need a second pair of eyes to check because I'm gonna note every single important thing down, and a second pair of eyes to check if I didn't miss anything is gonna be okay. Plus, I'm gonna be trying my best to be unbiased towards him out of self-respect, not him, self-respect. You know, so that he can't complain about, oh, you weren't impartial. By the way, and it's gonna be on the commentary channel stream, but not this one. The one I linked that one you're seeing. Because I don't want to talk much about drama on this channel, both on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, because I skimmed that doc before, but I want to like in-depth detail read it to see whether or not he actually debunked it. Because a lot of people had issues with it, and I know for a fact he edited it. He posted updates there, but also he edited that doc, which means he also deleted some stuff, which probably weren't in his favor. So we're already having some questionable doubt of the legitimacy of the doc. Yeah. Oh, Mamo Evan. I think I overcut, but however, it might not be that bad. I have to just be very careful. Yeah, this stream is going to be just me finishing the trims on the armors, and then afterwards the next hobby stream. The next stream is going to be a gaming stream because I want to, you know, change a little bit of content. You know? Nothing wrong with that, probably, but que sera, sera. Ooh, this little thing got stuck. Now it's unstuck. Yeah, so if it appears like it's too thick, these little shoulder things, it's because they are deliberately, deliberately so. Because more is good when you're sculpting, because you can just shave it. You can just shave it off. It's like facial hair. If you shave it off, you can then do it as however you want, because the process doesn't stop at the first stage of sculpting. Like, you just continue. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I can take a break. Small break. To fucking eat. I am hungry, so let's chat while I'm eating my supper. And it's just open sandwich and yogurt. Drinkable yogurt, that is. Oof. My hands are starting to shake, and when you're shaking, but also holding hobby blades, not good. It's not good. It's ill-advised to continue. Whew. Oh. So yeah, I hope it wasn't too much of a busybody, specifically in the start with the Nara segment. It just irked me how she behaved, and possibly still behaves. It's just a dangerous... It's just a dangerous way of thinking. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. And it just, in my opinion, doesn't fix the issue of trans people in general. It doesn't fix it. Like, I can't say much about it, but what else can I say? Like, what else can I say? Also, I'm very much confused because here in Serbia, it's not a topic whatsoever. Like, ironically, the only problem trans people don't have is the ability to marry here. Just like queer people in general. Like, same-sex marriages and stuff like that. Trans can't marry because of other legal stuff. Connected to that. But the rest, they have... Basically, you're right. Serbia, specifically Belgrade, was a mecca during the COVID times for trans surgeries. Because our doctors are well trained, well respected around the world, but also it's for the same procedure cheap. And what I mean by that is bottom surgery. Korea is like the mecca for gender affirming care with facial and vocal surgeries, but bottom surgery, I can tell you straight up, people still come here to Belgrade just for that surgery. A lot of foreign tourists who happen to be trans. And they, by the way, have zero issues going to Belgrade. Nothing happens to them. Funny enough. You would think Eastern Europe, but no, doesn't happen.
My back really aches, but at the same time, I'm happy with the progress. I'm just gonna wait to see how it looks because I've been grabbing these little shoulder pads, sadly, and I pretty much have thinned some parts down. So I might have to fill them up with more putty and stuff like that, or fill up gaps whenever they come by. And they will. So the painting part, I don't know when the fuck it will happen. After the next sculpting stream, I'm probably gonna be done though. Sculpting wise. Well, when will that happen? Beats me, I don't know. Let me check just in case if somebody pinged me, because I'm seeing on my phone. Alright. Supper eaten? Now, let's continue. It's mostly gonna be done. I'm just like, you see these little lines that didn't blend in together, so I am literally making them blend in. So then when I start to carve, I won't damage the things that I already made. So yeah, here's another, this. Too thin? Flat blade to the rescue, boys. Excess? No worries. Just flat blade. And see what I mean by when green stuff cures now? It's semi-hard. It's semi-hard, just like your date. You're probably halfway doing something right, but you're doing something wrong. Yeah.
next I'm gonna shave this down while it's kind of soft, and I can. Preferably, I prefer to do it in this stage than a day later when it's more cured and more glued into the mini, you know? Like here. And plus, I can actually remove the arms. I haven't glued them in the body. I haven't. That's the beauty part. However, it's better for me to do it while it's still on the body, the sculpting, because not only I can see if it, you know, see how it looks, but also I have more grabbing, you know, I have more stuff to grab on so that I don't fuck up. You know, I'm gonna check. Let's see. This here is way too thick. It's not even a straight line, so I have to shape now this off. So here and here. See, and you just lop it up. Lop it up. No, you're not here. Bun. Bun. Bond. Yep. It's a bit scuffed, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Again. There we go. So right now, while it's soft, I am very much trying to make sure that it is in a somewhat straight, coherent line. It looks that it's connected at least. And shit like that. There we go. I think actually now, since I've been live for nearly 4 hours, I think I'm gonna call it here. Yeah, I'm just making sure that this is in the same. Yeah, okay, this is the same. See? So, yeah, this rest I can fix when it's cured and when I'm gonna hammer and chisel it. You literally do that with this stupid shit, but yeah, it's literally that. Yeah, I gave you all a little bit of details. I gave a little bit more opinions. Probably some controversial ones. Actually, I don't think I was. Poznam da nema Gledam. I know, I probably ruffled some feathers for some people. Yes, I'm sorry. My dad. What did I want to say? Yeah, I probably ruffled some feathers because of that. But as a law guy who advocates for trans rights and stuff like that, this is what Nara is doing, like I said multiple times. It's not the way to go. Really not the way to go, because I think she's just deliberately starting fights to gain fellowship. She is doing the same shit Keffels did, and we all know what happened to Keffels, how she was exposed later on. Actually, no, this doesn't. Oh shit, I can't finish this. Wait, hold on. I have to. Yeah, I have done it like this, and I've done this. Like, no, we have to add some more plating. specifically diagonally. Alright. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. That's actually good. And I noticed right away. Get in. Blend. Blend, you nerd. Blend. Blend into society. So that no one can spot you. We live in a society, Chad. We live in a society. Alright, now we're gonna. Alright. Now I see. And now we're gonna do a little bit of molding. Hand molding, because this is definitely gonna make me hee hee ha ha lose my shit. There you go. Oh motherfucker! There we go. Oh, little bastard. Get in there, get in there. Move on here. Oh. Welcome to Sculpting, Chad. You're gonna lose your fucking shit. There we go. No, fair enough. This actually, this part looks semi-okay, but I can only do the proper lining after it cures. Let me just check. Ah, you little bastard. I knew it. It fell down here. Always check your armpits, boys. Sometimes you have gunk under there. So you're just gonna be like the deodorant and that's it. Go. This is thick, this isn't thick. We're in team thick thighs save lives. Remember? So we gotta get down with the thickness, you know? We gotta get down with the thickness. Am I right? Am I right? I am right. I know. Okay, so I'm just treading an imaginary line. Okay, so it's somewhat like here. So it's somewhat here. Let's say here. However, that doesn't mean we're gonna, you know, just throw this away. You're just gonna, you know, put it in here. You know, just put it in here. You know, blend it in. Blend it in while it's still like that. And now, level this. And guess what, boys? Oh, mamuti yebem. Oh, you. Ooh. If I said what I wanted to say. If I said what I wanted to say. You all don't understand what I wanted to say. I would have. It's something us Serbs really like to say, and you all probably be offended if I say. Okay, I'm gonna use you now as fixing material. here, wet my blade so it doesn't stick to my blade, and then blend it in while it's still in this little in-between stage of hard and soft. You know, that little thin gap here, but now that I put that little string, quote unquote, all of a sudden it filled itself. I'll grab it here again. Okay, it isn't that serious. Okay, fair enough. Good. Nothing that a good sanding will fix. Won't fix. Sandpaper is your so beloved sensei in here.
Very rough sandpaper, by the way. Very rough grit. This is like 510 grit.
Use that to sand this little thing down. Albeit, you have to do it very carefully, because you can, in fact, rip it off. You can. I'm not kidding. You genuinely can rip this shit off. If your sand you get a little bit too hard, you have to gently caress it like your lover, and then sandpaper her face. I don't make the rules of romance, but that's how you do it. You just sandpaper. Please don't take me seriously. Please don't take me as this is serious love advice, boys. I'm not liable if you take my jokes way too literally. There we go. Alright, fair enough. I think this is appropriate. I think it's similar thickness. No, it isn't. Did I just fucking did it? Went back to square one. I did. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay.
Yeah, you can see already I'm tired. So I'm gonna try to fill this up and then we're gonna raid. I don't care at this point.
It's my first time also making armor trims. So usually you would just 3D print the armor panels and be done with it. But need no money. And the guy who used to 3D print with me, for me, I haven't heard from him in a while, so yeah. Nah, fuck it. I don't care. Fuck this. Nah,
Let it be. Let it be.
let it be like that. I think it's done. I'm gonna be doing this
More off camera, but we have already done the shoulder trims. It's gonna be a lot of work. But I'm now gonna wait for it to cure. So it's gonna be finished tomorrow. It's gonna be decently cured tomorrow evening, where I can do the first level of stuff, and that is using the flat blade to shave off the tops, you know, because it's like round and stuff like that. We don't want to make them flat, so I can shave some stuff, and then later on, overmorrow, so in 2 days, I can sandpaper it and chisel and stuff like that. Sandpaper it effectively and easily without worrying that it will break off. Okay, so now how I do this is put it in the water, because this is just green stuff I can't use anymore. I can't. It's gonna be it's gonna dry up. It's not gonna be good anymore. So I'm just gonna shove it into the water cup, which I use as lubricant. If you have Vaseline, please fucking use it. It's a lifesaver. It won't dry up. It will make the green stuff and your sculpting equipment a lot easier. Like in this case, I didn't need my needle tool that I made myself, but I have to get eventually some sculpting tools after I get the graphics card. I definitely will get sculpting tools. I like sculpting, so yeah, it kind of fills me with I don't know. You know that Team 4-star Vegeta quote? I'm feeling pride, but it's being subsequently what do you call it? Blocked by this unyielding rage. Yeah, that's what you feel when you sculpt. You feel pride when you're doing it, how it looks, but in the meantime, you're just raging. Like, fuck this. Why is it not moving it in this intended way? Why is it acting like this? Fuck, and shit like that. Alright, so let's see who I can raid. If you all have somebody for me to raid, please do tell. If not, I'm gonna be finding someone. Right. Let's see if there's a VTuber. Oh, there is a VTuber. They're doing Warhammer. Alright. Raid target number 1. Bitches. Let's see if my friends are streaming. Taiga is streaming. But she'll probably finish soon. I don't know. Punk. Oh, there's Punk.
I believe GW are one of the like biggest earning they bring in the most like they like bring.
Fair enough. All right. So, since I can't redirect on YouTube, I am just gonna end stream on YouTube. So YouTube watchers, thank you for being here. I'm just gonna, if you're listening to the VOD, watching the VOD, thank you. If I offended you, sorry, that was not my intent. And I'll see you all in a couple of days. It will be gaming. It will probably be Mass Effect. So see ya.